One of the issues that we face this time of year is the feeling of excess. It's not so much the feeling of excess, is the feeling that we lose control of how we relate to food and drink. And so I have a couple of simple tips of things you can do so that you don't lose control as much this year. And the first thing is very simple: slow down. Now, this might seem counterintuitive, or it may not even be that obvious, but when we're eating a meal, often, especially if it's a food we like, because of this primal survival memory that most of us carry inside, instead of savoring every bite, if there's a lot of food on your plate or a lot of food in the spread where you are, you tend to eat very quickly. And the faster you eat, the more you eat. So the first thing I recommend is just simply slow down. The next thing is, we don't really taste our food. We don't really smell our food. We don't really even feel what it feels like in our mouths. If you can slow down enough and allow yourself to actually taste your food, smell it, be with it, this actually will help you to enjoy it more. And the more you actually enjoy it, you'll actually need less to feel satisfied. When we rush through a meal, when we don't really taste our food, and we tend to eat a lot more. And so what I recommend you do is slow down and smell the food and taste the food and enjoy the food. And the other thing is, just allow yourself to release your guilt about eating what you do this time of year. Most of us feel very guilty because we may be eating things that we wouldn't ordinarily eat this time of year. And the guilt we think is going to prevent us from eating it, but it does the exact opposite. When we feel guilty, it's an IOU for punishment. So what we do, instead of, if we find ourselves eating something we think we shouldn't, we feel guilty about it, and then we punish ourselves by not enjoying it and by eating more. So it's like a spiral. You'll eat more, you'll feel worse, and the best punishment is to just keep doing that. And that's part of the way you lose control. So the thing I would recommend you do is allow yourself to release any guilt you have about eating the foods that you're going to eat this time of year. And you can also allow, if you're enjoying your food, if you're releasing the guilt, you don't have to feel like you're sacrificing. You can still really enjoy the foods that are available to you this time of year. And you may find that if you release the guilt and enjoy it and really be present with the eating as you're eating, that you'll eat a lot less. And by the way, the same thing is true about drinking. Now, if you're in an AA program, don't use this time of year as an excuse. But if you have a healthy relationship with alcohol that sometimes gets out of line this time of year, what I recommend you do is just really appreciate every sip of the drink, and you'll find the same thing will happen. So enjoy the holidays and use these tips to not find yourself getting out of control, but to just really be with the experience and celebrate.